In the heart of a forgotten forest stood an abandoned theme park, its rusted gates creaking in the wind. Once a place of joy and laughter, it was now shrouded in darkness. At the center of the park loomed the crumbling remains of the Mouse House, a once magical castle where Mickey Mouse himself used to greet visitors. One stormy night, a group of curious teenagers dared each other to explore the park. Armed with flashlights, they ventured inside, their laughter echoing through the empty streets. As they approached the Mouse House, the rain began to pour, and the wind howled like a distant scream. The door to the castle was slightly ajar, its hinges squeaking as if inviting them in. Inside, the air was thick with dust, and the walls were covered in faded murals of Mickey and his friends. But something felt off. The smiles on the characters' faces seemed too wide, their eyes too hollow. "This place is creepy," one of the teens whispered, her voice trembling. As they explored deeper, they found a room filled with old animatronics, life-sized figures of Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald. Their paint was chipped, and their glassy eyes stared blankly into the void. One of the teens, Jake, couldn't resist pulling a lever on the wall. Suddenly, the room came alive with the sound of grinding gears and whirring motors. The animatronics began to move, their jerky motions sending chills down the group's spines. Mickey's head turned slowly, his grin stretching wider than ever. His voice crackled through a hidden speaker. "Welcome to the Mouse House, where the fun never ends." The teens laughed nervously, trying to convince themselves it was just a broken machine. But then, Mickey's eyes glowed a sinister red, and his voice deepened. "You shouldn't have come here." Panic set in as the animatronics began to advance, their movements becoming more fluid, more human. The teens turned to run, but the doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. Mickey's laughter echoed through the room, growing louder and more distorted. One by one, the animatronics closed in. Minnie's giggle turned into a maniacal cackle, Goofy's clumsy walk became a predatory stalk, and Donald's quack sounded more like a guttural growl. The teens screamed as the lights flickered, and the room plunged into darkness. When the lights returned, the animatronics were back in their original positions, motionless and silent. But the teens were gone. The only trace of their presence was a single flashlight, rolling across the floor. Outside, the storm raged on, and the Mouse House stood as it always had, a crumbling relic of the past. But if you listen closely on a quiet night, you might hear the faint sound of laughter echoing from within, and the whisper of a familiar voice. See you real soon.